Hello and welcome to Wow Mom. I'm your host, Ingrid Williams. The holiday season is upon us, and I thought it would be a great idea to talk about how we can spice up your family time during this holiday season. Today we're going to talk with two great guests, Miss Allison Teixeira of the Bridal Nook, located right here in Maplewood, New Jersey, and Miss Natasha Bascom-Ramnarinesingh of the Flair Factor. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
You're wonderful.
Welcome to Wow Mom.
Thank you.
So I wanted to just talk to you both a little bit about what you do and how we can help our other Wow Moms kind of incorporate some of your great tips into their holiday season. So we'll start with you, Allison. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a bridal and image consultant, and with that, I do full-service bridal custom designs. I also incorporate etiquette and image into my business, where I can style someone, and the minute they walk in, I can tell them what kind of style will flatter their body type, as well as teach them etiquette along with their event, setting up their event, and things like that. Everyone has a different personality, so that goes also a long way with their settings and their decor and the way they dress and portray their image.
That sounds like so much fun.
It is a lot of fun, really. It is a lot of fun. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm working at all because it is a lot of fun, and I enjoy what I do.
Good. That's really great to know. It's good to enjoy exactly what you do and that you're working your passion. So let's talk a little bit about the etiquette piece, because I know that you, in addition to all of that, you are starting or beginning an etiquette school for children.
Well, I've done that for quite a number of years. As an etiquette consultant, I was trained with the Protocol School of Washington. So I'm a certified etiquette consultant. I trained kids from 4 to 22. So there are various stages of training that you do for the various age groups.
Let's talk a little bit about that. My daughter's 5, and now I am trying to teach her a little bit about proper table etiquette. You know, she's still not quite so young, but not quite so old. So how would you advise, or what age would you advise a parent to start beginning that training?
You can start as early as they are sitting at a table and using a utensil. You can start with that, but usually the training will start from 4 years old.
Okay.
So from 4 years old, you have we do little interactive games with them, with a puppet, showing them various ways to set a table, use their knife and fork. So it's a very simple process at that time. So from 4 years old, definitely you want to start really getting them, thinking about proper table manners.
One of my questions to you was going to be how you make it fun, but you just touched on the puppet. So,
right. Well, how you make it fun is it's in their everyday interaction with dining at home. You can do a little role playing with the wrong way, really, like set up some games so that they're role playing but doing it the wrong way, so then they will correct you or correct themselves. That's one way to make it fun and to, instill in them what's the right way to do things.
And so as they get older, so you start at 4,
Mm-hmm.
at what age do you start transitioning away from puppets and role playing and more?
From 8 years old, so from 4 to 7 that's what you use, that kind of interactive teaching. From 8 years old, it's a different training. So you get away from the puppets from 8 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then do you have them start, once they're 8, 9, do you have them start setting up the table, the silverware, positioning it properly?
Right, exactly. So depending on what your menu is, you want to then, use your utensils accordingly. If you're going to have a salad and an entree, then of course you'd have 2 forks. So you'd set up a salad fork and a dinner fork.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're getting into what you're having for dinner, what you're eating.
Okay.
Yeah, and drinking and things like that.
So to make it fun for an older child, maybe you have them start planning the meal a little bit.
Exactly. Planning the meal, maybe getting involved with decorating the table or decorating the plate, as we're going to see later on. So it makes it fun and just festive.
Nice.
Yes.
So I want to know, when do they start cooking the meal that they that they start to plan?
I started teaching my kids from 7, 8 years old that they can start doing simple things. So, and they like that. They like to enjoy, the cooking process. I believe even in Maplewood Middle School they had an economic class, which my kids loved.
Mm-hmm.
So from that, from 8 years old, definitely they can start learning to cook.
Yeah, this is South Orange is my hometown, so I remember taking home economics and starting in, I think it was the 6th or 7th grade. So that's,
Right.
I think that those are all great tips, and hopefully My daughter, well, she cooks me cereal in the morning. But hopefully I'll start to work with her on the proper table etiquette. And right now she kind of sits, I don't want to say her own table, but she has a height appropriate table. So we kind of use that to help her, you sit here and things of that
and
nature.
definitely work into every day, where the knife and fork goes, when you finish your meal, where you put the knife and fork, things like that. It's very, very simple and they get it.
Good. So, Miss Natasha, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Can you just explain a little bit to us about what your business is and how you incorporate stylish dining?
Sure. The Flair Factor is a boutique styling and decor small business that I own. We specialize in custom styling your entire event, special event, and we add just small details that'll bring big impact to your event and wow your guests every time. So, from the table setting to the centerpiece to the candy buffets are big right now, so I specialize in that and just adding stylish, chic, unique touches to everything. So.
Great. So we're talking about holiday season. What are some creative ways that you can create both? I know adult tables and children's tables are something that are very big during the holidays, especially when you're having the whole family over. So what are some kind of little personal touches that you can put on the table without being too expensive if you're trying to stay within the budget?
Well, for the holiday seasons, wrapping paper, everyone uses wrapping paper. So I like to incorporate different wrapping papers. You can use it, you can make it a placemat out of it. You can you can make a place card out of it and just tie everything together with just wrapping paper. Paper that you have laying around that you already use, little pieces of it. Ornaments you can put in a vase to make a centerpiece, really simple. We're gonna see that later. There's so many different unique ways to incorporate things that you already have at home on the table, so it'll keep your costs down and your design will be economical.
So, people like me that have smaller children that might be a little bit afraid of putting their finer dinnerware on the table for the children's table. Do you have any suggestions for them?
You can use disposables and still make it look stylish. You can use your charger just like you use on your adult setting with the child. If it's plastic, there's no breaking. The disposables, you throw it right out. They can't break that. And it'll still look stylish.
Nice. So those are some really great tips. Wanted to just ask, when it comes to adult table and children's table, when we're talking about etiquette, Allison, what's a good way to still incorporate new children? You're working at home with your child with etiquette and they're at a certain place, but maybe their cousins aren't quite there yet. Are there some tips that you can give parents out there that are working with their children and introducing some non-household children to the etiquette game?
Yeah, that's a good question, because sometimes you don't want to make the other child feel left out or feel like they're not knowing what to do, because certainly social skills does enhance a child's self-esteem. So you want to kind of maintain and not make the child feel have a low self-esteem. I think just general conversation. You can teach as you go along. You can teach them right there and then, not making it seem like it's a lesson or they have, but you can also explain what you're doing and why. Make them comfortable in the setting.
Okay. Yeah, that's fun and exciting. I mean, you don't want the other children to kind of feel, I don't know, barbaric for lack of better terms, So, or maybe you can have the puppet come out during the holiday dinner and things of that nature.
Right, exactly.
So, Natasha, let's talk about tablescaping a little bit for the little ones. Are there some interactive things that the kids could do while maybe the adults are still cooking that can kind of bring them into the whole festivities for the day?
Sure. While the adult table can have a menu card placed in front of the setting, the kids' table can have a maze, a puzzle, something to color. Make sure you provide crayons, markers, chalk, anything for them to scribble with. Your placemat can also be a place for them to doodle. You can, and it's disposable. You can throw it out. You don't have to take it home with you and collect junk. Just throw it out right after, but it keeps them busy.
Nice. Would you suggest putting like a centerpiece on the table for the kids or anything of that nature at the children's table?
Sure, the centerpiece can actually double as, the crayons can double as a centerpiece. You can put the crayons in a vase, in a bowl, a cup, and make it festive with ribbon, wrapping paper, just to tie everything together, and they can use it. So it's double duty.
Oh, great. So I think those are some fantastic tips that any person could use, even if you're not a parent per se, but if you're hosting for the holidays.
Absolutely.
I think those are just some phenomenal things that you can do to kind of incorporate the children more. I know sometimes kids get a little bored if they don't have much activity going on. Are there some tips now, Allison, some additional tips that you can give us for children that are maybe teenager-esque, maybe going off to college, or if they forget their manners for a little bit of a second? Is there anything for the...
Well, definitely always, table manners really, it boils down to one basic thing, is being considerate to others at the table, meaning, you don't chew your ice, you don't hit your elbows, you don't put your elbows on the table, you don't eat loudly. So just basic consideration for your fellow guests at the table.
Okay. All right, great. Well, thank you for the tips. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation and bring you some visual aids that we have here. Natasha and Allison will both give us a little bit more information on, show us some live demonstrations about how you can bring your table to life. I'm Ingrid Williams, and you're watching Wow Mom.
In this economic downturn, libraries across New Jersey are reporting jumps in attendance of as much as 50% over the past year. Nearly 200,000 people use our computers every week.
Who'd have guessed that I'd be job hunting at my age? After spending several hours at home trying to upload my resume, I was just overwhelmed. My library showed me how to do it. Now I'm gaining back my confidence.
New Jersey libraries are transforming lives. Tell us your story.
And welcome back to Wow Mom. Again, I'm your host, Ingrid Williams, and I'm here with Natasha from the Flair Factor and Allison from the Bridal Nook. And Natasha has created these great designs for you today, and she's going to take us through a little bit of how you can make your tables look festive for each upcoming holiday season. So for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's. Natasha, tell us what you've designed for us today. It looks great.
Sure. We're going to start with Thanksgiving. And again, these are very economical. You can find most of this stuff at your local craft store, around your house, and go crazy. So right here we have Thanksgiving, or just a harvest look for the fall. And we have a woven placemat with a rattan charger and your dinner plate. In the middle, I placed an apple because, this season it's an abundance of apples. Everyone is going apple picking. So why not put an apple? You can make this a place card, or, put a little name tag on it. And there's the napkin right here. Around the place setting, these are craft leaves.
Oh, nice. Okay.
You can find this at your local craft store. They're very inexpensive. And just decorate your table with it. It makes it very festive for the season. Your kids can sit here. If you're afraid that they'll go crazy and break your dinnerware, use paper. Disposable wares. We have them in brown and white to go along with the color scheme. And again, you can place an apple. Here I designed just a simple place card, and you put the same little craft leaf on it, and you can do this at home.
I think this is like the cutest thing.
This is for the kids.
Let's talk about that.
This is recycled for all green guests. This was a Frappuccino bottle.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
just wash it out, and you just wrap some burlap around there to give it
And this is
the
great
fall
for the
flair.
kids.
Yeah, you can put milk in there, their juice, add a straw.
Yeah, this is great for the kids because it allows them to think that they're drinking out of a glass, but if it breaks,
throw it in the garbage, and you don't feel hurt.
Yeah, I know you're not.
So you're not affected.
This is great. So for this look you gave, and for each look you're giving an adult version of your look, as well as how you can make it kid friendly.
Exactly.
Awesome. So what do we have next?
Next we have Hanukkah, and we have the blue, silver, and white setting. We have the little dreidel right here. It can, it can be your favor. You can add a name to it for a place card. We have some.
This looks like a nice activity for the kids to do.
Yes, it's an activity. It's a maze.
It's like their appetizer.
Well, instead of a menu, because they're not going to read the menu.
Yeah.
So you place a little maze for them that goes along with the holiday.
Okay.
And also we have little crayons. Instead of having a real placemat, we can put down construction paper and have them doodle on the construction paper. Supplied little crayons here. They can take that home.
Great.
And also the dreidel. Since I do candy, we have some coins in there. Silver coins. They're chocolate. So it's double duty. It's a favor. It's chocolate. And they can doodle all over it.
I like the way that you incorporated the name tags for the place settings for the kids. It makes them kind of feel all adult and grown up and special.
The centerpiece also, tons of dreidels, tons of chocolates. They can go crazy.
Awesome. And this, if you even have like a taller vase, you could use it for your adult table as well.
Exactly. If you don't have a vase, throw it in a glass. Take one of your glasses from your cabinet and put it in a glass. It looks just as good.
Nice. Or nice decorative fruit bowl or something.
Yep.
Okay, so tell us about this festive pink and silver look you have going here.
This is New Year's.
Okay.
It's non-traditional, pink is girly, but hey, have the girls over for New Year's. Why not? This is kid friendly. It's all disposable. And again, the Frappuccino cup.
Okay.
So I just wrapped it with gift paper to tie in all the colors. And the name tag right here, it's made out of the same wrapping paper.
Okay.
And that's just printed at home, so it's very economical.
So the wrapping paper really goes a long way.
It does. And this is a popper, New Year's popper.
Oh.
It's also a favor.
Okay.
Wrapping paper again. And at 12 o'clock, you can pop it open, like so. And you have a little candy, so you can stuff it with paper shred, and throw it all over the place. Happy New Year.
Yeah, New Year's wouldn't be complete without some chocolate. And this look here?
We're over to Christmas.
Oh, Christmas. Oh, we went a little bit out of order, but
Yeah,
who says you have to be conventional?
So Christmas again, we have a popper here. Again, we used wrapping paper. And wrapping paper is so easy. We have it. We use it during the holidays. You don't have to throw away the scraps.
Okay.
You can wrap, again, a Frappuccino bottle look like Santa Claus.
Yes, it's so
That's
cute.
for the kiddies. And they have disposables that go perfectly well with the adult setting, unless you want them to sit there and go crazy with your dishes.
And then you see, I like these fun little ornaments that you've incorporated.
Right, if you
into
have
the
some
centerpiece.
left over from the Christmas tree that you're not using, throw it in a bowl.
Nice.
Throw it in a glass vase. Again, wrapping paper. It makes it festive and it ties everything together.
These are really great, economical, simple ways that you can just add a little bit of spice to your table. These looks phenomenal.
Thank you.
And I guess you're gonna come do mine because I don't know.
It's simple. It's simple. Get some wrapping paper and you're good.
I like the way you embellished the Thanksgiving one. It's
Thank
really
you.
great. So Allison, Natasha's created like a really great setup for us. Explain to us kind of how you would start teaching the kids the etiquette for the table.
Basic table layout is your solids are on your left, your liquids are on your right. So your glasses will always go on your right side of the plate and your solids on the left, meaning a bread plate. Your knife and fork, knives are on the right, they're turned inwards. So they're turned inwards, and then your forks are on the left. So depending on what you're having for your meal, you would have 2 forks, a knife, a couple of teaspoons if there's dessert or any cake involved with dessert. So that's the basic rule. Solids on your left, liquids on your right. So all your glasses will be on your right side. The bread plate is on your left, knife and fork in its position.
Nice.
Basic table layout.
Okay. So for the smaller children who can't basically utilize, or maybe you don't want them to hurt themselves. I see that Natasha's incorporated some finer disposables,
right.
which I
They
think are
look
really
just
cute.
like the real thing. Can
Right.
you tell the difference?
Yeah, no, you really can. Especially from standing here, it took me a second to, really hone in on it to see. But Allison, are these good ways to start?
Absolutely, yes. You can definitely start with this. It's the same concept. You just using different material for your utensils. So absolutely.
Great, I think these are really cool. And where do you think where would someone find them if they were looking for them? Like just a local
They have these at the
party store?
party stores, definitely, and also at the your wholesale clubs, the big bulk wholesale clubs.
Oh, okay, nice. So let's talk about just some of the candles here, because I'm noticing I like candlelight, but I don't like to clean up the wax
And plus,
afterward.
if you have children, then you don't want them really playing with the flames. So these are battery operated tea lights.
Nice.
And can you see it?
So you just click it on,
You
and
just
then
click it on, it comes on.
It
The
comes
battery, well, it usually works for a long time.
It's a great way to introduce the children to just the design of a table.
Right, and it gives a nice glow to the table, and you don't have to worry about kids burning their fingers.
Awesome. So these poppers that we see on the table, they seem to be incorporated in almost all of the aspects
Right.
of the table. Can you just take us through how we kind of
They're very simple.
work those?
You can create this at home. Again, it's very economical with the gift wrapping paper that you have already from the season. These are actually paper towel rolls just cut to size. So you
Okay.
cut them to whatever size you want.
Great.
And you take the gift wrap, you cut them to the size to accommodate whatever size you cut the paper towel. And you just put a piece of tape right there and roll it up. Very simple, and just put the adhesive on the other side. And what you do, you kind of like squeeze one end and you tie it. You drop your candies in there, put a bow to secure it, and then you do the same with the other side, and you have this.
Nice.
It's a popper.
So that's really
Right.
simple.
It's very simple. It's
Very
very
festive.
festive. Yeah, and you can use it across the board. Any holiday party, it works well.
So, in addition to holiday, this setup is really great. Give us some suggestions on how you could set up a table and make it look wonderful, but just maybe for everyday dining.
But just to spruce up your table.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go out and buy a fancy vase, you can take like your regular tumbler, a tumbler that you drink from, and you put some water in there. Maybe add some food coloring to go with whatever decor you're gonna use. Drop a candle. If not, just without the floating candle, you can use one of the battery operated tea lights.
Okay.
Put it in the glass, and you have ambiance, instant ambiance.
Good, awesome. I know for me as a working mom, I'm sure Allison, you could probably agree. Sometimes you feel a little guilty because you're always on the run. So you get that mom
Exactly,
guilt.
right.
I'm all about the mom guilt because I have it so often. But would you suggest to some other moms that are out there on the run to just maybe once a week, once a month, kind of set up a nice setup for the family?
Sure, absolutely. It's always fun to do that. And kids, at least my kids, I know, love to eat in a fancy setting. So whether it's out in a restaurant or at home, you create that atmosphere at home. Have them either prepare the meal. One thing that we like to do is do dinner and a movie. So we would spend one day a month maybe, or every couple of weeks, creating the meal, sit down, setting the table, and just have a family get-together, family meeting.
That's always special.
It is,
That is,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm
Yeah.
going to start doing that. I usually go out, but I'm going to start incorporating some of Natasha's great tips here
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Allison's etiquette training to kind of create some nice home environment for my little one. And I hope that everyone else could use some of these really great tips to create some nice, inexpensive home memories for their families as well. So we're going to wrap up here, but before we go, I have to ask, what do you think makes you a well mom, Allison?
What makes me a mom is that I incorporated my business when I started it about 12 years ago with my kids. So they were part of it. I had a room for them. So they, whatever I did, they were always there along for the ride. Spend some time, after their school. Now they're older. They were actually here at Columbia High School. Is to spend the time after they get home to just kind of chit-chat and take that time off that that you need actually from rushing around all day. Take that time off for yourself as well as to spend the time with the kids, just chit-chatting and dinner and conversation.
Great. Those are wonderful tips, and I know that you're a Wow Mom. I've seen you in action. Thank you for joining us today here at Wow Mom. We hope you learned some wonderful things that you can incorporate into your holiday season. My name is Ingrid Williams, and I'm a Wow Mom. Have a wonderful night.